How's it going, guys? Josue back again with another video. Josue, Juniper, Hear Me Raw, JJ. I go by many names, and many names have been given to me, and who knows what other names will come down the road. But yeah, today is September 22nd. We are at the Equinox. A pivotal shift is happening in life right now. Pivotal. I'm talking about like massive. I've just been feeling a lot of energies, and I know you've been feeling a lot of energies too. The world is feeling it. Like there's a shift happening, and I spoke about this years ago. I spoke about this shift, and I did my best to just usher in as many people as possible to jump into this shift. You know, because you have the option to jump into this shift, to let go of the old stagnant energy, that is no longer serving us. It's not serving anybody at this point. A thought that I had today was that the patriarchy is not helping anybody. Nobody is safe under the patriarchy. Men are not safe under this patriarchy. Boys are not safe. And when we talk about the patriarchy and its negatives, a lot of times we think about gay people, we think about women, we think about children. Of course they're not safe, but men are not safe either. And until men realize this, until men realize that they're not safe under the patriarchy, it's gonna be a little bit hard for us to move forward. Women cannot keep, ushering in this change by themselves. We need everybody. And the other thing is about the patriarchy, and just about in general, is the fact that the patriarchy a lot of times is associated with, what's it called, white superiority, whatever it's called, white imperialist, whatever it may be. All the races need to come together. There's no this race, that race versus race, black versus white. Ain't none of that. Like in the new realm, in a new earth, because things are always happening. Another word that's been coming up a lot for me is demolition. Demolition came out twice. Came out yesterday and today. Demolition. In order for something to change, something has to be destroyed. So don't look at demolition, because with demolition, with the destruction comes hope. The first time I saw demolition, I saw along with it hope 11. Hope 11, 11 gates. 11, 2 ones, new beginnings. There is hope. Through the destruction, there is hope. So this system is falling. I just walked out the mall, yo. I don't even recognize the place. I haven't been there in a while, and I'm not a big fan of malls anyway, but you can't even recognize the place. So many other stores have closed. Like, society, reality is just shifting in so many different ways, in all the ways, whether it's physical, spiritual, ethereal, and all the ways, all the different layers that there are. Everything is changing right now, and change is the only constant, so we should not be afraid of this. We should never have gone along with the idea thinking that we had it all figured out and that things were going to be as they were. Because if you had that mentality, I've said this many times over the years, once you stop learning, once you stop growing, you might as well be dead. Once you think you know everything, you might as well just go sit somewhere and die. Like I'm not even kidding with you, because change is the only constant, and you have to keep up with this change. And to keep up with this change, just like a computer, you need to keep upgrading yourself. Like your body naturally is rebuilding itself. Like old layers are fading away, into dust, while new layers get reborn from whatever you are ingesting, whether it's physical, or spiritual, emotional, whatever you're ingesting, because we eat so many different things. We have many different sources of food that compose the human body. But what our physical body is able to make, it makes it out of what we put into it. So if you have not been upgrading yourself internally, then you're gonna have a hard time walking on this new earth. You might not have been training your new legs to be able to walk on this new earth. Your brain isn't where it needs to be able to walk on this new earth. But I don't know, for me, like, I have hope for everybody, and I want all of us to succeed. So I'm not gonna say you failed, but I would just recommend and just say to pray. If you don't believe in a higher power, then I'm not really sure what to tell you. But just pray, ask for assistance, ask for help. There's now science out there that shows that our cells, our bodies are listening to us. So be mindful of what you're eating, be mindful of what you're ingesting, be mindful of what you're listening to. Be mindful of all of that. It's all important. Take control of your own life. A lot of times I feel like we focus so much on like becoming the king, becoming the god, becoming this big thing and having authority over other people. Do you really need that though? Does a true king need authority over other people? Or does the kingdom could mean having authority over you, over your own body, over your own cells, over your own actions, over your own reality. There's a lot of things that we haven't been taught, but the thing is, everything you need to know, everything you need to know is already within you. It's in your DNA, it's coded into your DNA, and we have different methods of learning about it. But even if you don't want to chase any of those methods, just simply pray, just simply ask. Just ask and you shall receive. Ask your angels, ask your higher self, ask your guides. Ask and see what happens. Go on your own journey and see what happens, see what comes out. But I'm always here, to uplift, to send messages, and I'm gonna continue to share what happens with me on this journey, because it has been helpful for a lot of people. But yes, things are changing, and it's time for you to, if you feel like you can't walk upright, if you feel like you don't know what you're doing anymore, that's okay. We're literally in the middle of a Mercury retrograde. But Mercury retrograde doesn't mean that your life is going to shit. It just means things are changing. And change is sometimes uncomfortable. It's most of the time uncomfortable. But know that you're not alone. Know that you chose this path. You chose this life that you're on for a reason. And you can turn it around at an instant. An audio that I've been listening to that's been really helpful lately, especially lately, is, I believe it's like Jesus, the way of mastery, the way of Christ. And the thing is just that, and this is something that I've heard years ago, but every time you hear something, you hear it from a different perspective. So it's like, the main thing is, you can choose to say that God doesn't love you. You can say that you're not a part of God. You can say that you're not a part of this. You can distance yourself if you choose to. But even in science, we know that once you've been connected, you can never be disconnected. And everything is one. And it's so wild, because I was listening to this audiobook, and I saw on a license plate, I saw the word above. And as soon as I seen the word above on the license plate, I just think, as above, so below. And science has seen this too. We go all the way out into space, we look at space, and then we can look at ourselves, through a microscope, and they look the same. You are a mini universe, You look at the ocean, you're like a wave of the ocean, but that means in that wave of the ocean, it contains everything of the ocean within it. So you are part of God, and just because, that means you can never be separate from God. It's a simple truth, but it's very hard to materialize. It's very hard to stand in that truth and to walk in that truth. Like I said, you need new legs for this. Because the old legs that you have told you that you were a born sinner, that you were no good, and things like that, whatever it may be. That's where I grew up believing, But the new truth is that you are God. And even in the Bible it says this, have I not told ye that ye are gods? But you have free will. God gives you free will. So it's so crazy to me how some people choose to be and say that they are godly, but all they want to do is impose themselves on others and control others. Or even God gives us free will. God even gives us so much free will that if we can choose not to believe in him, her, them, however you want to describe God. So if you have free will to disconnect, to say that you're disconnected, but you're really not, you're never connected, because God is always waiting for you. I'm telling you, just ask, talk to your angels, talk to yourselves, meditate, go out into the woods, earth, hug a tree, listen, tune out the noise. And truly listen to what's real and what isn't. Nobody can save you but you. There are healers out there, but you don't really need the healers, because all the tools of healing that you need are within yourself. Healers just facilitate, they open up this space so that you can believe and have faith, and then the healing can happen. I've seen so many things in this life, and I feel like I've only seen just a portion, and I'm just in amazement every day. To the point where things can happen. I'm just like, I'm just gonna keep praying. I'm just gonna keep praying and keep being hopeful, and I'm gonna listen to what the angels are telling me. And the ways of the world, they can do whatever they want, they can go as crazy as they want, whatever. But I'm sitting here and I'm gonna believe in my angels. I'm gonna believe in God. It took a while to get here, and I feel like I've been here, and sometimes you can go back and forth, and it's okay. It's the healing path, and that's one day you're healed and that's it. Now it's a continuous path, and true healers, we chose this path, and this is what we live for. And I'm so thankful to have been reminded of that. That's why I'm here. So yeah, man, I love you, and God loves you. Mama Gaia loves you. And the sooner that you realize this, the earlier you can start to walk in love, to walk in laughter, to walk in joy, to be joy, and to enjoy this reality. I love you, Juniper, checking out. I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share this message with anybody that you think would benefit from it. And happy Equinox.